Kind of late in the evening. So I'm a little tired for whatever reason. And I didn't even take a nap. I've been using the computer, sitting down, using the computer, like, looking up jobs and whatnot. But before I couldn't even sit down because I would get so dizzy, that falling to the ground, sinking, tilting sensation whenever I sat down. And it freaked me out so much that I would lay down in bed. So before I was struggling using the computer. Taking a nice bath?
Yeah.
Some of you guys are wondering why I always move my head when I'm walking, but sitting still. It's because if I don't move my head around, it's like my neck will get really tense and it will hurt if I try to move it, if I don't move it. Yeah, well, I just got home. I didn't really go too far, just around the block. It's kind of late in the afternoon. But as far as what I was saying, yeah, I've been like on the computer, looking up jobs, fixing up my resume and things like that. I had a couple of phone calls and emails. It's just to ask me some questions, and they're gonna submit my resume to the to the company because most of the jobs I'm applying is through a temp agency. So, it's temp to permanent jobs. So that's what I'm doing now. A couple, I think last Friday, I believe, yeah, that's when I had a phone call for about a job. It's like a 12 hours, 3 days, 1 week, 4 days, 1 week. So it's 12 hours a day. It's about a little bit over half an hour from where I live. I think about maybe 30, 40 minutes from where I live. It's in a city where I used to work a long time ago. So the distance I don't know where it would it increase my anxiety or not, but that's why I've been practicing not only walking around like different blocks, just also been going inside stores just to get that feeling of being inside places. But go inside a mall for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours. It's different because you can leave when you're ready to leave if you don't work there. So when you have anxiety and you feel like you have the urge to run, most of the time you do, and when you don't, you're like, okay, I'm not gonna run, and then the next day you're gonna be like, so you keep doing it over and over. There's days that you're gonna want to leave. There's days that you're gonna be like saying, I'm not gonna leave. I'm just gonna stay. So that's why I been trying to go out, not just going for walks, but go inside like the store and stay there as long as I need to grab everything. And when I grab whatever, I don't go home right away. I'll go to the back of the store and come back around a couple of times. Before when I started going inside the store, I started off going inside like a little like a really small store. Actually, it's just like a little gas station store. Just go in and come back out, and just pay for gas and head back out. That's when my dad asked me if I want to go for a car ride. I said yeah. He said need to go get gas. I said let me go inside, and I just went in. And after that, that's when I started going inside. From little store to like a smaller department store, and finally go back to the mall. I didn't want to take one giant step. What I mean, I didn't want to just go to a big mall and say, okay, I'm better now. I wanted to work my way up. Um, so when I started going to the stores this time last year, I couldn't go inside a mall. When I did, I couldn't go any store. I couldn't go all the way to the back. I had to stay around the front and then come back. That's what I started doing. Sure, it might have took me a couple of months to actually get from one point of the store to the back, but I was able to do it. Before I wouldn't think that, oh, I'm going to be able to go back to the store, because when I did have panic attacks, my daughter and I, when I did pick her from school on a Friday, I used to take her and my niece and nephews to the mall, especially when it's hot, just to be away from home, because when it's hot they want to go out and do something, and that's what I did too. And if my girlfriend was at home, then we all went, so that's where I'm at now. So now I asked my daughter, hey, you want to go to the store, whatever, even though we don't buy anything. Sometimes her mom say, oh, I need to get something, let's go. And then I say, oh, I want to go too. It's me saying I want to go, and they say, okay, let's go. It's not. Before I would say, if they ask me, and I would look at them, it's like, why are you asking me? I can't leave the house. Now it's like, I'm asking if they want to go, or if they ask me if I want to go, and then the answer is always the answer been yes now. So like I mentioned, I don't really have negative thoughts anymore. Sometimes I do, but I say if I have a negative thought, and I go against my negative thought, that thought just goes away. Before, as soon as I get near the door and say I'm going to go out and just get the mail, I was like, my hand would be shaking by the time I even look. I'm touching the doorknob, my hands would be shaking. I couldn't even open the door, and then I would just go back in my room. So every time I did that, that was a negative thought. It's like, and then I tried again. It's like, okay, it's like I can't. It's like I'm telling myself I can't, and by me saying I can't, my brain just knows I can't instead of I can. So if you ever say you can't do something, like if you can't go out to get the mail and you say you can't, your brain knows that's all your brain's going to learn is I can't. And then when you have a negative thought one day and then you actually do it, then you're going to slowly find out that that you can do it. It's just that you've been telling yourself you can't. Sometimes people will say, like your family members say, oh, you can't. Yes, you can. It's not that hard. And then you might even say something like, well, you don't have panic disorder. That's why you can just go out and get the mail. But at the same time, you have to realize that you can do it. It's just that, your brain been programmed to just think negatively, thoughts that you created. And sometimes people around you might actually feed you negative thoughts. Like, for example, if you leave your house for the first time in a few weeks, few months, even few years, and let's say you left your house for half an hour, right? They might even say, why couldn't you leave for, an hour? Why not 35 minutes or whatever? At first my family say, oh, you did 5 minutes. Try to go for 10 minutes. And then instantly my head would be like, well, I did 5 minutes. For me, doing 5 minutes, when I was stuck at home for so long, that 5 minutes seems like it was a half an hour. So they didn't mean it in a negative way. They say, next time build your way up to 10 minutes. But in my head, I was saying, they're just thinking negatively about me, and I'm just feeding that. And I kept saying to myself, what's the point of me trying if I'm only going to be able to do 5 minutes, But every day I do 5 minutes, and slowly I'll do 6 minutes and 7 minutes. It might take a long time for me to just get to around my my block from the front of my house all the way to like the back side of my neighborhood. It took me I think it took me like 3 or 4 weeks just to finally be able to just walk around the whole block. And so, every day I did it. That's why sometimes I'll leave for like 10 minutes, but I don't take the same street. I'll go from one street to the other. Or I'll go leave my house at different times of the day, because like I said, morning anxiety is not the easiest, especially for myself. I notice around 11 to 12:30. Those are the times when my anxiety is spikes up, and then it slowly goes down. Then later on, it goes back up for whatever reason, So, but other than that, I'm not really feeling depressed. No negative thought, anything like that. As far as me, I haven't been like just laying down on my bed. I've been using my computer, looking up jobs, and whatnot. Before, I wouldn't even think about even looking for a job. The other thing I wouldn't even be thinking about doing is, driving. I've been driving since late October 2017. I didn't think I was gonna drive again. I've been driving on the freeway, going to stores that I haven't been going to, things like that. And for me to actually say I want to look for a job, I feel like I feel relief. I don't feel like my body's weighted down. I remember when I left my job, I felt depressed. I didn't want to leave the job, but I left it because of the panic attacks were just too much for me to handle, and and I just kept getting these symptoms at work, not just at work, but at home. But when you're at work and then you start thinking, oh my God, this and that. But I've been at that company for like 8 years, and I know everyone I work with. But at the same time, it's like you don't want to go to work and just like leave when you feel a symptom. That's why I left. As far as me walking around and turning my head left and right, looking around, even when I'm sitting down, it's because I get this really, I wouldn't say a stiff neck, but I get this really bad tension in the back of my head, like around my neck area. It feels tight, and if I don't move it like this, it gets really tight to the point that it will turn stiff. And sometimes it feels like someone's just pushing their knuckles as far as they can, like this. So that's the reason why I have to move my head when I'm walking or when I'm sitting. If not, I'm gonna feel that tension really bad, and that tension is gonna turn to stiffness. So that's the reason why I turn my head around. Like at work, where I used to work, I had to move my body around, like where we used the equipment. I had to look one way, I had to look the other way, and sometimes to bend down to do this to the machine we use. So that's why I have to keep moving my head. If I don't, my body, especially my neck area, will just get really tense, and then my back will hurt. That's the reason why I do it, because I got so used to doing it at work that my body is used to having to move around. But that's pretty much it for today. Summer just started a couple of days ago, so it's only gonna get harder. But looking forward to to keep going out. I'm still planning on going to the beach. But more importantly is for me to go find a job.